In today's video I'm going to do something a bit different here and share 5 JRPGs that I think should be remade or remastered. Lately there's been a trend of releasing remakes and remasters of all classic games, so I thought hey, why not share 5 JRPGs that I think should be getting the remake/remaster treatment. Now this is just my personal list in no particular order, and if you have other JRPGs you want to highlight then let me know in the comment section. Alright, first up we have Lost Odyssey. That's right, the 2008 JRPG by Mistwalker is still exclusive on Xbox, and I will do almost anything to get an enhanced port or a remaster on current consoles and PC. You might wonder why I'm so desperate. Well, that is because I missed out on Lost Odyssey. I had an Xbox 360 back in the day and I remember playing JRPGs like Blue Dragon, The Last Remnants and Eternal Sonata. But for some reason I missed out on Lost Odyssey, and it didn't help that my 360 broke down. But what is Lost Odyssey, you might wonder? Well, it is, as I mentioned earlier, a JRPG developed by Mistwalker, a company that was founded by the legendary Hironobu Sakaguchi, the creator of Final Fantasy. From what I've seen, it is a traditional JRPG that is very reminiscent of the earlier Final Fantasy games with turn-based gameplay, random encounters, and a world map to explore. I really like the aesthetics of this game and I've mainly heard great things about Lost Odyssey. Although it has been almost 15 years since the release and the odds of getting a remaster seems very slim. The company has pretty much shifted away from console projects and they have mainly been working on mobile games. But man, would it be awesome if we ever got a remaster of Lost Odyssey. Next up we have both Persona 2 Innocent Sin and Eternal Punishment. I know there are 2 games, but I'm going to lump them in here because they're both part of the overarching story of Persona 2. Now I've talked a little bit about Persona 2 in previous videos, in particular when it comes to the PSP port of Innocent Sin, but I personally would love to see a remake of Persona 2. I know there's been rumors and talks about a Persona 3 remake, which I wouldn't mind at all, but I do think Persona 2 will be a better candidate. It has a great story, although there are some aspects of the game that is quite outdated, like for instance the random encounter rate and the weird UI. Not only that, but the gameplay is also very simplistic compared to the other Persona games. But as I've said before, it has a fantastic story and I think a remake would benefit Persona 2 a lot, mainly in the gameplay department. I believe Atlas made a survey last year regarding what fans wanted to see remade, and Persona 2 shared the #1 spot with Persona 3. So who knows, we might potentially see a remake in the near future. Only time will tell. Alright, next up we have Parasite Eve. That's right, the 1998 horror JRPG by Square is still, in my opinion, one of the most unique JRPGs in their portfolio. The blend of turn-based gameplay and survival horror is what mainly sticks out with Parasite Eve, and I honestly think a remake might revitalize the franchise again. Seeing the success of the Resident Evil remakes had me thinking a lot about a potential remake of Parasite Eve. I know they are 2 completely different IPs, but a remake of Parasite Eve might garner fans outside the JRPG sphere, especially for those that are into survival horror games. I know it's been a while since we've seen anything related to Parasite Eve, I believe 2010 for the release of the 3rd game on the PSP, and I am of course not counting the NFT project that was announced a couple of months ago that got us all hyped for nothing. So what are the odds of getting a remake of Parasite Eve? Well, I do think the odds are quite slim, although lately it seems like Square has been revisiting some of their older IPs, whether it is through remasters or remakes, but I wouldn't hold my breath for a Parasite Eve remake. Regardless though, I do think Square should revisit Parasite Eve, and a remake might be a perfect way in doing so. Alright, next up we have Xenogears, the PlayStation 1 title that many consider one of the best JRPGs of all time. Unfortunately though, I have yet to play Xenogears. My first introduction to the Xeno meta series was the Xenosaga trilogy, but I never had the opportunity to play Xenogears, and an HD remaster would be perfect for newcomers like myself. I've heard a lot of great things about Xenogears, and despite having a rushed second act, it still seems like it managed to leave a good impression on those that have played Xenogears. Now the odds of getting a remaster seems very slim. I mean, Monolith Soft is with Nintendo now and Xenogears is owned by Square. I don't think Square would go back and finish the second act if they ever made a remaster. They would probably do a straight up HD treatment and leave it at that. For a lot of fans of Xenogears that might be disappointing to not get a proper conclusion, but I would still be down regardless. Xenogears was a very ambitious JRPG for its time, and an HD treatment would allow a lot of new fans to experience the origins of the Xeno meta series. And last but not least, we have Rogue Galaxy. That's right, the 2007 JRPG by Level 5 was at the time one of the largest games they've ever developed for the PlayStation 2. I personally remember playing Rogue Galaxy back in the day, and I remember being so impressed by the graphics and the sheer scale of what the game had to offer in terms of gameplay. I loved doing the side quests, and I was pleasantly surprised by how much emphasis there were when it came to the crafting system. Now, Rogue Galaxy is not a perfect game. I remember the combat feeling a bit off sometimes, and the story was your typical space pirate adventure story. But despite all of that, I still had a lot of fun playing Rogue Galaxy, and a true HD remaster would definitely be a good reason to return to the world of Rogue Galaxy. I know you can buy and play the game on PS4, but it is more or less like a port with some tweaks and no widescreen support. I've only played Rogue Galaxy once back in the day, and I would most definitely play it again if they ever decided to release an HD remaster. The shell shaded aesthetics of Rogue Galaxy is already beautiful to look at, and an HD treatment could definitely enhance the aesthetics even further. And there we go, 5 classic JRPGs that I would like to see getting a remake or a remastered treatment. Now there are plenty of other games out there, and I've definitely missed some. But let me know in the comment section what games you want to see get a remake or a remaster. Thank you for watching this video, and consider subscribing if you're interested in gaming and JRPG related stuff. More videos are coming, so take care, and I'll hopefully see you guys next time.